Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Meydan Racecourse. Here on Friday, it is the 25th of February 2022. We're going to look at all the races on tonight's program from Meydan, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Join me tomorrow for my Saudi Cup preview and also my Red Bull preview from Oaklawn. But we have 6 races to look at. Let's get to the opener right now, which is the Carama Stakes. It's a conditions race going for a purse $60,000, race for 3-year-olds only. Field of 10 horses going 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the dirt course. I'm going to take the 7-horse Rory as a top selection. Let's go 739 in the TriCast trifecta. 739 TriCast trifecta, top selection 7-horse Rory, 3-year-old colt by Frosted. Miguel Barzalon is on this one. The horse's most recent outing came the 11th of February here made on 1 mile and a condition in the Group 3 fire break, and the horse finished 7 by 22 lengths. And he didn't have the best beginnings, but he went straight to lead after that, had lead into the lane, and then he completely hit the wall, crumbled under the pressure. He wasn't keeping up. It wasn't his day to win. Coming here, step down class with the quick turnaround, has the speed to win. I think he's in a more realistic spot to win. 2 back the horse run and here made on 21st January in a conditions race, 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs there on the dirt course, and he won by 2 lengths. And again, he had enough speed to win that day. He quickened up nicely in the front end and held on to a victory. An all-around good race there locally. And then before that, the 15th of January, Jebel Ali, 6 furlongs in the main race. He finished second by 1 3/4 lengths. He was with him early on, setting the pace. He hit the wall late, but I thought that was a good race for the stamina because next start out, he really went easily at Meydan. I thought they were setting their heights just a little bit too high with the most recent group race. Stepping down class here today at 3-1, I think he's a very likely winner, so let's take him. To recount my selection for the first from Meydan's the Carama Stakes, let's take the 7-horse Rory. Let's go 739 in the TriCast trifecta. The second race from Meydan, it is the Lincoln Nautilus Handicap. It's a handicap going for $75,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a dozen horses going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the turf course. I'm going to go with a non-Godolphin horse in a turf race, which is very unusual lately. I'm going to take the 2-horse Jadwal as a top selection. We'll go 261 in the TriCast trifecta. 261 TriCast trifecta, top selection 2-horse Jadwal, 4-year-old by Mustajib. Pat Dobbs on this one for Doug Watson. The horse's most recent outing came in a handicap here on the 6th of February. 6 furlongs on the turf, and he won by a half a length that day. He had a very high weight, but he stalked that day. He got the lead, and he had enough left in the tank to get him the final quarter of a mile. I thought it was a good effort there. Coming here back to turf, he should really run a good race. He's run much the best numbers out of anybody here. 2 back and ran at Meydan on 23rd of January, 6 furlongs in a handicap, and he won by 3/4 length. Again, even with the heavy weight, he stalked all the way around or down the lane. He got the lead and he kept going. A all-around good race. And then the seasonal reappearance on turf here Meydan on the 7th of January, 5 furlongs in a handicap. He finished second by 3/4 length. He just kind of stalked, and he just couldn't get the good turn of foot. I do think he needed the race there, and he definitely needed the race on the dirt before that Jebel Ali, where he just had nothing. I don't think he liked the dirt that afternoon, but his turf races have been much the best. He's coming off some decent races. He's run the best numbers. He's a very fast horse. At 5-2, I'm going to take him. If there's a horse that could possibly upset, it could be the Godolphin 6-horse Stunning Beauty, but she's the mare taking on the boys. She's cutting back in trip, which I think should suit her well. She should get a good tracking position. At 10-1, we would use her on the play spot, but Jadwal has really been one of these good races, so he's a very likely winner. But to recap my selection for the second from Meydan, let's take the 2-horse Jadwal. We'll give kudos to the 6-horse Stunning Beauty, but we'll go 261 TriCast trifecta, 2-6 in the play spot for me. The third race from Meydan, it's the Lincoln Aviator Handicap. It's a handicap going for a purse $75,000, race for 5-year-olds and upwards. We have 8 horses going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the dirt course. Very good race here. I'm going to go with the 5-horse Desert Doctor. Let's go 532 in the TriCast trifecta. 532 TriCast trifecta, top selection 5-horse Desert Doctor. 7-year-old gelding by Society Rock. Frankie Dettori's on this one for Ed Walker. The horse's most recent outing came 20th of January at Meydan, 7 furlongs on the dirt in a conditions race, and the horse finished 4th by 4 3/4 lengths, and he just kind of stalked and was very lackadaisical, never quickened up, never weakened out of it. It looked like he was handling the dirt okay. Coming here where he gets a little bit closer, has a very good posture, I think he could beat some of the older horses who have been around the block a few times who are just not as quick as he can be. 2 back at Goodwood on the 10th of October, soft ground 6 furlongs in a handicap. He finished 6th by 5 1/4 lengths, and he just kind of stalked and could never get the good turn of foot. I do think he might need the race race there. And then prior to that, at Doncaster over the 1300 or 6.5 furlongs in a handicap, he finished 6 by 13 and a quarter lengths there. And he just really, never could quicken up. And, he just wasn't handling it there. And then a false lesson in the in and where is it? Where's Fosslas? And Wales, 7 furlongs, 6 furlongs in a handicap. He won by head. He stepped down class from his previous races, and he kept going. He ran here last summer or last winter on the dirt, and he was running these decent races, just not winning. But he has forwardly paced. Like I said, I think he's better than some of these older men here, and I think at 4-1 he could really run a good race. We're going to use him on the ticket. So to recap my selection for the third from Meydan's Lincoln Aviator Handicap, let's take the 5-horse Desert Doctor. Let's go 5-3-2 in the TriCash trifecta. The fourth race now from Meydan's to Group 3, due by Millennium Stakes. It's a Group 3 event going for a purse of $150,000. This race is for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of a dozen horses going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course. Let's take the number 10 horse here. Integrand as a top selection. We'll go 10-6-7 in the TriCash trifecta. 10-6-7 TriCash trifecta. Top selection 10 horse Integrand. For called by Frankel. Miguel Barcelona is on this one. The horse's most recent outing came 20th of January at Meydan, a mile and a quarter in a listed stakes, and the horse finished 5th by 1 3/4 lengths there. And, that afternoon or that evening, this horse just really couldn't get into it until very late. Was closing up well. First off the bench, I do think the horse needs the race. A little bit of back to a mile and a quarter here. Second off the bench, I think the horse could really improve out that race. Two back, the horse ran 23rd November at Deauville. 1,800 meters, mile and eighth in illicit stakes. And the horse won by a neck and was drawn stupidly wide, but got overwhelmed from the wide post draw. He had to give up some ground early on, but he got the job done, saving ground around the bend for the first time around. And when he got over, he quickened up. He had a little left in the tank. An all-around good race there with a horrible post draw. And then a Shanti, a mile and eighth in illicit stakes, finished 5th by 6 1/4 lengths there. And he really never showed up. You could say for the race before, which is Prix Prince d'Orange, where he finished 4th by 2 1/4 lengths. Again, just never getting into it. He was just finding too tough competition. And also running him a little over a longer chip, like a Clairefontaine and August over the mile and a half. He just was not a mile and a half horse. He wants to get a mile and a quarter, like he did at Saint-Cloud before that, where he won very easily, winning by 1 1/4 lengths. Coming here today, drawn very well around a 1-turn mile and a quarter with Barcelona up at 7-1. I think he's sitting on a very good run. Don't throw out the 6-horse Star Safari. He won most recently here very nicely, cutting back in trip from a mile and a quarter. They've been running him over the mile and a half, which I just don't think he likes. He wants to go a mile and a quarter. He's going to get it again today. He's another very likely winner. But to recap my selection for the fourth from Meydan's to Group 3 due by Millennium, let's take the 10-horse Integrand as a top selection. Give kudos to the 6-horse Star Safari. 10-6-7 TriCash trifecta. 10-6 in the place pot. The co-featured fifth race, it is the Jumeirah Derby. It's a conditions race going for a purse $200,000. Race for 3-year-olds only. 8 horses are going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course again. We're going to take the 5-horse New Kingdom as a top selection. Let's go 5-4-8 in the TriCash trifecta. 5-4-8 TriCash trifecta. Top selection 5-horse New Kingdom. 3-year-old colt by DeBowie. Godolphin Doan. Charlie Appleby trains. William Buick gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came here at Meydan on the 21st January, 1,800 meters, mile and eighth, and the prep race for this race, the Jumeirah Derby trial, where the horse finished second by 1 1/4 lengths there, and he just kind of stalked and could never get the good turn of foot. First off, a little bit refreshing. I do think he needed the race. Second off the bench, getting the extra furlong drawn very well. I think he's going to run a lot better race. Two back of Haydock on the 2nd of September, firm ground, 1 mile novice race, and he won by a nose. And again, he just basically ran with the race of his life that day. It was a short offering, but he settled well. He quickened up nicely, and he got the job done. Small margin victory, but it was a very clear winner there. And then in Newbury in August, 7 furlongs in the main race, finished 5th by 2 1/4 lengths there. He was with him early on, but he just never really could quicken up to his full potential late. I do think he needed the race for experience, but he's been improving with every single run since then. Coming here, I know he's evens, but he's a very likely winner. So to recap my selection for the 5th from Meydan's the Jumeirah Derby, let's take the 5-horse New Kingdom. Let's go 5-4-8 in the TriCash trifecta. The Nightcap, the 6th race from Link field from Meydan. It's the Lincoln Navigator Handicap. It's a handicap going for a purse $75,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have 11 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the dirt course. I'm going to take the number 11 horse here, Scabbard. I'm going to go 11-3-6 in the tri-cash trifecta. 11-3-6 tri-cash trifecta. Top selection 11 horse Scabbard. 5 are going by More Than Ready. Pat Dobbs on this one for Doug Watson. The horse's most recent outing came here the 30th of January Meydan, 1 mile in the handicap, and the horse won by 1/4 lengths with the blinkers on. He had the speed that day. He stalked, he got the lead, quickened up nicely in the front end, and he kept going. Coming here second off the bench, has a lot of forwardly pace, getting good low weight again. With a slight step up in class, I think he really ran a good race. Two back ran 3rd September at Del Mar, 7 prongs allowance optional claimer. He finished 3rd by 5 1/4 lengths there. He didn't break that well. Horrible beginning. He sat back early, and he just could never quicken up. It wasn't his day to win. And then prior to that, Del Mar 6 furlongs in an allowance optional claimer. He finished second by 2 1/4 lengths there, and he just didn't have the best beginnings, which is sometimes a coincidence, sometimes is a reoccurrence with him. Didn't break that well, settled well early after that, but then he just couldn't get the great turn of foot. And then prior to that, Churchill 6 furlongs allowance race back in June. He finished second by 1 1/4 lengths. Again, not the best beginnings, but was really closing well late. I do think the 1/4 mile stretch of Churchill suited him well. But coming here off a very good win last time out, has a lot of speed. I think a 5-2 is a very likely winner. Don't throw out the 3-horse Discovery Island for Tango Shea. Most recently won here in a conditions race at Meydan in January very, very nicely. He has a lot of forwardly pace. His races on the dirt haven't been half bad. At 7-2, he could definitely win. But to recap my selection for the Nightcap 6 race from Meydan, let's take the 11-horse Scabbard. Give kudos to the 3-horse Discovery Island. 11-3-6, tri-cash trifecta. 11-3 in the place pot. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.